ערב שבת קודש, פרשת לך lecha, תשפ"ד. This week, the Sefer Bereshit was sponsored by Mrs. Amy and Mr. Ralph Sesson, very important people of chesed, people of helping, people of doing a lot of things for the community. Kadosh Baruch Hu will bless them with a lot of nachat from all their children and grandchildren. Kadosh Baruch Hu will send them health and bracha v'atzlacha in everything that they do. This week parasha we are reading about there was a war between 4 kings and 5 kings, and Lot was captured. Lot was the son of the brother of Abraham Avinu. Abraham was his uncle. When Abraham heard that Lot was captured, he decided that he wants to save him. As the Pasuk says in Perek Yudaled, Pasuk Yudaled and Tetvav, Vayishma Avram ki nishba achiv. Abraham heard that his brother was captured. Vayarek et chanichav yelidei beito. He prepared all his people in the house, his students in the house. 318 people, and he ran after them. We have here a question. First of all, Lot is not his brother. Lot is the brother of his son. But the Pasuk said, Abraham heard that his brother was captured, and he decided to go to fight and to save Lot. And the Pasuk says, Vayichalek alehem laila. He ran after them at night. Vayakem vayirdefem ad chova ad mismol Damasek. Explains the Sforno there that when Abraham went to fight against the 4 kings, he did it with a special trick. He did 2 tricks. Number 1, he divided a group of people that was with him to several groups. This way, the kings that Abraham ran after them will think that the people of all the area are running after them, and they will get scared. And in order that the kings with their soldiers will not see that the group of Abraham is very small group, so therefore he came at night. And the question that comes up here is, we see that Abraham had several problems in this parasha. One problem he had with the 4 kings, Lot was captured. The other problem he had with Paro that took his wife Sarah. And the question that comes up here is, why, when Lot was captured, Abraham decided to go to a war and to save Lot? And why, when Paro took Sarah, Abraham didn't do anything? He remained passive. He didn't go to fight. He didn't fight in Egypt. He didn't do anything. So maybe we can say that there is a difference between the problem with Lot and the problem with Sarah. The problem with Lot was in Eretz Israel. The problem with Sarah was in Egypt. And what's the meaning in this difference? We find in Sefer Melachim a story about Elisha Hanavi, that he came to a city and he repaired the water in the city, that the water there were very bitter. When he came out of the city, the Pasuk says that young boys came out from the city and they disgraced Elisha and they made fun of him. And they said, go up your baldy, go up your baldy. Elisha, since Elisha was the first Navi after Eliyahu, and it was very, the prophet status was very, very weak yet, so he cursed the boys. And the Pasuk says, ותצאנה 2 דובים מן היער, ותבכנה 42 ילדים. 2 bears came out of the forest and they tore 42 children. The Pasuk didn't tell us where Elisha was walking. Was he walking in the forest, or Elisha was walking in a village? Where was Elisha? So the Gemara brings an argument between Rav and Shmuel. One says that Elisha was walking in a village, in a regular place, in a regular road. But at this place, there was no bears. And Borei Olam made a nest, and 2 bears came out and from a forest, and they attacked the boys. The other opinion says it was not only a nest, it was a doubleness. What is the doubleness? Elisha was walking in a regular place. The first opinion says that Elisha was walking in a forest, but there was no bears in the forest. And Borei Olam created and brought 2 bears to the forest. The second opinion says that Elisha was walking in a regular village, no forest there, no bears there. And Borei Olam did a doubleness. He created a forest and he created 2 bears. Asks the Gemara a question. We can understand the first opinion is understandable because the punishment to the boys was needed to be by the bears. So Borei Olam created the bears, or brought the bears there. But the second opinion that says that Borei Olam created a forest and bears, we understand why we need the bears, and why Borei Olam changed the nature and created at that place a forest. Answers the Gemara, when a bear comes to attack a man, he's not using only his strong power. He needs his wildness. He needs the soul of a bear, the cruelty of a bear. And these characteristics a bear finds only when he is in his native place, only when he is in the forest. Therefore, Borei Olam had to create the forest also. Eretz Israel, to a person who believes in Borei Olam, is like a forest to the bear. Only in Eretz Israel, a person can, all his characteristics can be fulfilled. And therefore, Abraham Avinu, when he was in Eretz Israel, he could all his potential. He used all his potential. And therefore, he was strong enough and brave enough to go to fight with the four kings to save Lot. While in Egypt, Abraham Avinu was not in the native place of a neshama, of a believer in Borei Olam. And therefore, he could not, he didn't fight, and he didn't do anything. This is the difference between the fight against the wars against the kings that was in Israel and Abraham when he was in Egypt. And the same thing you can see the history comes again and again. When Am Israel were in Europe in the time of the Holocaust, the Jews were walking over there like sheep, and they were killed like sheep, even worse than sheep. While when all these people from the Holocaust, when they came to Eretz Israel, their characteristic changed, and they became soldiers, and they became brave people, and they can attack. And in Europe, they couldn't attack their house. They couldn't, sorry, not even attack, they couldn't protect their house. In Israel, not only that they can protect their house, they protect all Eretz Israel. And this is the explanation why he fought. But we didn't explain yet what is with Lot. Lot is not his brother. Lot was his brother's son, the son of his brother. So how come the pasuk says, "Vayishma Avram ki nishba achiv," that his brother was captured? I found in the Abarbanel that he asked this question, and the Abarbanel answers. Here we see that what is the greatness of Avram. Lot, in the beginning, he went with Avram together. But after they came when they came out of Egypt, Lot changed his ways of life. And he lost his religion there in Borei Olam. And then he came and he said to Avram, you know what? Let's separate. And Lot separated from Abraham. And he went to live near Sodom, to be near the worst people in the world at that time. Totally different than Abraham. Nevertheless, when Abraham heard that Lot was captured, he increased the love to Lot, and he increased his relations, his family relations to Lot. And instead of that he will be called his brother's son, Abraham called him his son. This will cause him to do much more effort to save Lot. This is the way that Lot was, this is the way that Abraham behaved at that time. In a time that you need to save somebody from your nations and also a relative, you increase the relations to him. And here is what Am Israel now is standing in a close situation that happened at that time with Abraham and Lot. A lot of captivities are now by the Hamas Imach Shimon. And the way that we have to relate to them has to be that we look upon them, upon everyone, as a brother that needs to be saved. And this is what we are saying after the prayer every day, after Tehillim. We are saying, Acheinu kol Beit Yisrael, הנתונים בצרה ובשביה, המקום ירחם עליהם, etc. This has to be the way, Acheinu, and to think about this deeply, to relate to them as Abraham did. He increased the relations of brotherhood to Lot. You have to say another thing that a little bit from last week Parashat also. We see something strange in last week Parashat. Noah built an ark. All the animals were in the ark, even animals that eats other animals. But when we look on the parasha, we don't see how can it be that the lion didn't eat the lamb, the tiger didn't jump on the deer. What happened? How come? The Radak explains that when Borei Olam created in the beginning the world, he created couples, a couple of sheep, everything, every animal had two animals as a couple. And we see also there that no one ate the other. Because, says the Radak, if the tiger, let us say, he would have eaten the lamb, so no lambs in the world anymore. Says the Radak, Borei Olam implanted in the characteristic of all the wild animals that no one will eat any other animal. No one will eat meat. Everyone will eat only grass. As the Pasuk says, Pasuk says, in Bereshit Perek Aleph, Pasuk Kaftet and Lamed, Vayomer Elokim, הנה נתתי לכם את כל עשב זורע זרע, לכם יהיה לאוכלה. All the grass, everything that grows, vegetables, you will eat. ולכל חיית הארץ, and to all the animals, and to all the birds, and every animal on the world, they will eat only grass. The same thing, says the Radak, happened in Noah's Ark. Nobody, everyone used this characteristic that Borei Olam planted when he created the world, and therefore, in the ark, everyone, all the animals, says the Radak, they ate only grass and vegetables. No one ate any other animal. This is the explanation of the Radak. But I remember I saw once, in the name of the Maharam Shapira Milublin, the rabbi that established Daf Yomi, he explained it different, and he said that in a time when there is a tzara, when there is a big problem, there is a big disaster in the world, everyone becomes one unit. And this is what happened in Noah's Ark. There was a flood, there was a big problem in the world, so everyone became one. Everyone helped the other. Everyone became no animal. No one attacked any other kind. All of them was together. And this, what we see nowadays. You have a prayer in the tefillah that we are praying to Borei Olam, and we are saying to him that we according to the Goyim, we are like sheep, and they are killing us like sheep all over. What happened in this last Simchat Torah, the Hamas, they didn't behave with us like sheep, that you slaughter sheep. No, they didn't behave with us like this. Because when you are going to slaughter a sheep, the Pasuk says, Oto ve'et beno lo tishchatu b'yom echad. You cannot slaughter, you cannot shech an animal with her son in the same day. And what they did was they slaughtered parents, children, animal with together in 1 minute, not in 1 day, even. And therefore, we have to be 1 unit as all the animals in Noah's Ark. We cannot be worse than animals, that everyone has to be together with all his, with all the people, all the group of the peoples in Eretz Israel. Are we worse than a lion with a sheep? That the lion eats the sheep. So if they made peace together and they were 1 unit, so we have also to be 1 unit. We find this idea in a time that Am Israel is going out for a war with enemies. The Pasuk says in Sefer Devarim, in the beginning of Parashat Ki Teitzei, Ki Teitzei lamilchama al oivecha. Ki Teitzei, whom Ki Teitzei? Singular. Ki Teitzei, the Pasuk didn't say Ki Teitzu. Ki Teitzei lamilchama, singular. Al oivecha, on your enemies, plural. And then the Pasuk continues and says, Unetano Hashem Elokecha beyadecha. Again, a change. In the beginning, the enemies are plural, oivecha. And then the Pasuk says, Unetano, Borei Olam will give you in your hands, but singular, beyadecha, the shavita shivyo, and you will capture. You will capture a captivity. Pasuk is mixed with singular and plural and changed from plural to singular. Starting ki teitze, singular. Al oivecha, plural. Then the pasuk changes and says that oivecha will be unetano, singular. What's the meaning here? Explains the Mefarshim that the main Mefaresh is the Al-Shich HaKadosh. Explains the Al-Shich HaKadosh and says that Borei Olam is saying to Am Yisrael, when you are going out to fight, and I will see that you are one unit, means you are together, I will say the pasuk, ki teitze lamilchama. I'm saying the pasuk, I'm looking upon you as one, because you are one unit. Al oivecha, you will go against a lot of goyim to fight against them. But since I saw that you are one, you are together, you behave like one, unetano amonai Elohecha beyadecha. You will win, and it will be easy for you to fight against all the enemies as if they are one, as if it is one soldier. So easy I will do for you to win the war against the enemy. This is the reason for the change. And this, what we see, is the way to fight, to be together with no machloket, as Borei Olam wrote in the Torah. And we see that the fight here is against Persia, against Iran. And Am Yisrael already stood one time in such a situation, in the time of Haman, against Iran, against all these, against Persia. And Haman, he knew, and he took advantage. And he said to the king Achashverosh, Yeshno am echad mefuzar umeforad men ha'amim, there is one nation who are separated one from the other. So let's get rid of them. And this is what happened before what the Hamas started to do. Am Yisrael was meforad, and tremendously. The perud, the separation was, and they took advantage. Esther understood it, and immediately she said to Mordechai, Lech kenos et kol haYehudim, go and gather all the Jews together to pray to Borei Olam. And then the pasuk says, we have a pasuk later on and says, נקהלו היהודים בכל מדינות המלך אחשוורוש, ועמוד על נפשם. ועמוד על נפשם, נקהלו היהודים, פלורל, ועמוד על נפשם. לעמוד על נפשם means to fight against the enemies. ועמדו על נפשם. What is ועמוד על נפשם? Singular. Explains the הגאון מווילנה, ועמוד על נפשם, כאיש אחד, together, as one. This is the way to fight against enemies. And we saw that at that time, Am Israel won in the fight against Persia, against Iran. And this is the way to win this war also. To be one and also to pray to Borei Olam, to accept all Malchut Shamayim, all the Jews at that time, before they fought against the enemies. Everyone fasted and everyone was praying to Borei Olam. And this is what has to be, that everyone will fight, everyone who goes to fight, he has to pray to Borei Olam. In the time of Mordechai and Esther, we don't see in the Megillah that even though they made a fight against Amalek, nobody was wounded, nobody was killed. We don't see any word about Jewish soldiers are being killed, Jewish people are being killed. When Borei Olam is with you, this is the way to win. To be together and to pray to Borei Olam. And of course, all our boys that are not in Israel, this has to be the way. Everyone has to take upon himself a special prayer to add one more perek of Tehillim that he says usually, a special perek of Tehillim, and to have a kavanah to save the people which are the captivities, and to save the soldiers and to save the people in Eretz Israel. I want to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom, and let's hope that the same thing that Abraham Avinu succeeded to save Lot. Am Israel will be able to save all the captivities and to bring them safely and peacefully to Eretz Israel. Shabbat Shalom.